Performance management. Buzzwords that few people truly understand, especially line managers who facilitate the performance management process. Hi, my name is Pepile Simelane, and I'm here to get to understand what performance management is and why performance management systems fail. We chatted to a few managers about performance management to get their view, and this is what they had to say.
Well, performance management system is just a fancy term for performance appraisal.
The guys are measured on their KPIs, and which are called key performance indicators. And this is normally done about twice a year.
The guys normally sit with their managers, and the managers just tell them how poor or how well they've done throughout the year. The managers ask them to sign a form, and unfortunately the bonuses are actually based on the company performance. Most of the employees just grin and bear.
For me, as a manager in this organization, means, there are employees you don't like in an organization. And the real time where you can get even is when performance management time comes into effect, because you use that as a weapon to crack the whip on your employees that you don't like. It's one of those effective tools that if an organization uses properly, it works properly and you're able to achieve your objective of getting rid of the employees that you don't like in an organization. And in a nutshell, to me, that's what performance management system is.
As you can see from the insert, there are differing views about performance management and why it fails. Well, let's get a definition of what performance management is. Performance management is described as an ongoing process that involves planning, managing, reviewing, rewarding, and development of performance. And performance is described as the behaviors or organizational members that help meet organizational objectives. We have some experts in studio with us tonight. I'd like to welcome Mr. Maharaj from the insurance industry.
Thank you.
Mr. Lungu from the manufacturing industry.
Thank you.
And we have Mr. Mao Mao, who's an HR expert.
Thank you.
Welcome, guys, and thanks for joining us. Well, let me cut straight to the chase, Mr. Maharaj. Why do performance management systems fail?
Well, good evening, Pepe. Thank you for having us on the show. I'd like to start off by saying that there's many reasons why performance management actually fails within the private and public enterprises in South Africa and abroad. But one of the main reasons, in my opinion, is that people that are responsible for the actual system do not even know or understand what it is. The one great misconception is that it is an appraisal process, as was seen by the insert that you just showed. But that it is not. An appraisal process is but a tool, a measuring tool for that matter, that is used within the performance management system. There are other tools, such as performance planning, ongoing communication, coaching, performance diagnosis, and data gathering, so that you have something relevant to speak about with the staff member. Lots of managers think that it's a linear process, so you have to take step by step by step. They completely forget that you actually can bring a person back and retrain them on basic stuff. Lots of managers think that there's actually terminology, and forgive my French or my poor language, a cuck-out session, where they get to see their staff member and then lambast him for all that he has done wrong. The other thing that is critically wrong with the performance management systems and the way it is handled is that it is very rarely assessed. So the relevance of it to the company that is using it is quite, or rather not at all at times, even assessed to see whether it is currently relevant to the jobs that they are trying to perform or better enhance. And that's my take on it.
Oh, interesting. Mr. Lungu, what's your take on that?
I agree completely with all the sentiments expressed by Mr. Maharaj. But I think one critical and second input I would have towards why performance management systems fail is simply addressing one of our basic needs, and that is, what's in it for me?
Very interesting.
All of us as employees have a job in order to meet our basic needs. Abraham Maslow's theories on human needs clearly outline the various stages of our various needs. Most performance management systems, although they might be clearly defined, and they rarely are, they might have metric systems, and they rarely do have but they fail to add these tangible outputs to an individual that will allow the alignment of an individual's goals with the organization's goals. So in summary, basically, performance management systems lack an ability to address what's in it for me.
Very interesting. I see you thinking there, Mr. Mau Mau. What are your thoughts about that?
Thank you very much, Peter, for having us on your show. Performance management systems, in my opinion, fail because of the way we implement them. I would agree with the two gentlemen that the key thing is to actually know what performance management is all about so that you can set clear goals. Another thing is to actually have everybody's buy-in in terms of having it there and doing what it's meant to do. Yes, it is very true, coming from the insights from one of the people that you earlier interviewed, that performance management is an appraisal system. The question is what happened to the rest of what performance management really is. It got lost somewhere in the HR archives, where you would find that there was a procedure that was meant for good, in a good way to address a certain specific performance management aspect. Particularly what comes to mind now is issues surrounding development. How do you deal, for instance, with non-performance? How do you address non-performance, among your employees? All that cannot be integrated into what tends to be the trend nowadays in terms of automating everything, via some kind of IT system. The bottom line is we cannot automate all aspects of PM, performance management, and we should actually accept and appreciate the fact that you need some kind of human intervention. A manager needs to know that there's certain offline processes that actually need to kick in to come and address specific issues. Systems fail because we tend to think of it as some way of automating in a simple way, the way we actually go about collecting data in order to measure our people. Thank you very much. That's my opinion.
In a nutshell, what I'm understanding from you gentlemen is that performance management systems fail for three primary reasons. Firstly, that people don't understand what they are. Secondly, that there's a lack of alignment between organizational and individual goals, so there isn't the what's in it for me for people. And thirdly, it's because there's poor implementation. Clear focus a lot on automating the system. That's it for tonight, guys. I'd like to thank our guests for joining us, and I'll see you next week when we talk about talent management.